Can you show me tonight? Let it go, let me be the one. Should I know that you want me now? Said I need my love, but I don't know how to get to you. Can you show me tonight? Show me tonight. Can you show me tonight? Can you show me tonight? Should I know that you want me now? Send me my love, but I don't know how to get to you. Can you show me tonight? Show me tonight. Can you show me tonight? Show me tonight. Can you show me tonight? Can you show me tonight? Show me tonight. Can you show me tonight?
Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome back again to another episode about ZBrush and jewelry. My name is Nacho Riesco and I will be here sculpting jewelry designs with ZBrush during the next 2 hours. So we will continue with the same designs we left 2 months ago. My previous stream, latest streaming was in July. Let me find the file first. I'm gonna check if everything is working fine here about the music, about my voice. Let me know if you can hear me. My voice is clear, the music is not too loud, all the stuff people are currently asking before I start streaming or before I start talking. So let me check here on my side. So it looks like the comments from YouTube are working. The wild noodles, hi, welcome to the stream. Let's go ahead with the designs we already have. So let's click on load tool. Let me put this here. Let me find it. This is the streaming 21. I have been making streamings for maybe 2 years. So let's double click in here. Okay, I have a problem here with the version of ZBrush and I made it. So I need to shut this down and I need to open again a new version of ZBrush. Okay, because yeah, as I remember, I was making this with the 2025 version. So let's load it again. Whoops. This is the I opened the wrong. This is the problem for having different version of the same software. This is the 2025 or 2022. No, this is the 2022. This one should be, yeah, this one. I need to change the order of the icons. Okay, as usual, post your comments on the chat. I will try to pay as more attention to your comments and to your questions. So I will be glad, and I'm here just for being sculpting something with ZBrush, but not just that. So I will be here trying to help you as more as I can. See them if you send your comments, questions, suggestions about what I am doing. If you like or you are thinking about to start making jewelry with ZBrush, you are on the right place. So you start sending your comments and your questions. That's it. This is the design I started 2 months ago. It's a ring. Let me change the material. So let's just use this material better. So I'm going to open my references. Where are they? Okay, this one. We are trying to follow this design. This is not my design. This is a sketching or a drawing, which it has many years, many hundreds of years. So it was made by René Lalique, very well-known jewelry designer from the Art Nouveau century. So we will try not to make an exact replica because this is just a sketch, but grabbing the idea. I like this drawing because it has the different views, the different angles, and it's a cool design, of course. So we will try to replicate or making something similar. This is what we got so far. We already have the ring size, the ring band. We already have many different of the elements already put it on the model, on the design with the main Beetle body, and we will try to replicate this. Let me open the image through the texture palette, clicking here on the import, just for getting the image always visible on the canvas. Clicking on the add to spotlight, maybe change the opacity, maybe make it a little bit brighter. So let's make it a little bit smaller. maybe we can put it here on or bottom left corner, and that's it. Don't forget that you are using the normal way when you are uploading any image through the lightbox. When you have your lightbox active, that means that any image is on the camera. Don't forget to turn this off, because if you don't turn this off, ZBrush will not allow you to sculpt anything. So remember, you will find this button here on the same palette. I was loading the image. Where is it? This spotlight projections. Okay, I was using the wrong name. I was saying lightbox, and this is the spotlight. This is spotlight, the spotlight. I know this is the spotlight. This button is. Oop. Put this here. Move the image. You know, you press the control key. ZBrush is telling you the path of the button path, brush, samples, spotlight projection. I forgot where was the button. Going to draw, oh, I'm sorry, going to brush, going to samples, and then you will find here this button, spotlight projection. This is the problem of working with a custom interface, that you forgot where the buttons are when you need to find any of them. But just in case if you don't know this, if you press the control key, you will find here the button path. So you will find the buttons easily reading the button path here. So let's close this. So let's put this on its here, picking the Z to turn on and turn off the spotlight. And let's go. Harsh, hello Nacho, can you please tell me how can I sculpt Beetle sculpture? Nice question. I already made the bust of Mary, yeah, but I want the cloth to drip like on it. See, there are many well-known sculptures with that technique. We can talk about it then, or to start sculpting. Hey Fexter, welcome. How are you doing? I'm doing well, thank you. Here I am again. Since the problem I was having the past month in August with my internet connection, sadly I couldn't make my streaming of the month on August, but here I am again with the streamings after that problem. So I will continue making one streaming a month. A design with AK, I'm fine. Thank you very much for being here. And Harsh was asking, the place where I go looking for inspiration and looking for references, you know, is Pinterest. You go to go see Beetle, Mary, the sculpture. So I suppose that you are referring to create something like this. This is tricky. For me, this is tricky and funny at the same time. So most of the time nowadays we are looking for the easiest ways or the fastest way for creating the things, or the automatical ways to make something. But if we are talking about the sculpting, in this case, the best way, or for me, the better way to approach a kind of effect like this one is grabbing a sculpting brush and start sculpting any single fold of the fabric. Of course, for having a good reference is going to be very important, because if you try to replicate this from your brain, from your head, it's going to be a little bit complicated, because you are not going to be never happy with the results, because maybe you are figuring out something completely different. So I strongly recommend you for grabbing a good reference. Maybe you are not looking for to make an exact replica, an exact copy of something or already exist model or sculpture. So what you can do, try to grab many different references and try to mix all of them together, to just grabbing references from one part of the head, another reference from another part of the head. I will show you how I can do this. So let me find a good reference. For example, this one. This one is a good reference. Let me save this. Let me here on my downloads. Where are you? I was wondering. Well, yeah, I was having problem with my internet connection in August. I used to make one streaming every month, and August on the past month, exactly the same day that I need to make the streaming, my internet connection crashes. And it wasn't a problem of my computer, of my local installation. It was a problem of the building connection. So I'm sorry about that, but it was a very bad coincidence. So, but I will try to be here once a month as usual. ANP2SS, hello, I'm doing well, thank you very much for being here watching the streaming. So we will start answer a question from Hars that he was asking. Let me know, how can he sculpt a veiled, it's well pronounced, veiled sculpture. I already made a bust of Mary. Now I want a cloth on draping. Okay, so I will let me load the image we just downloaded. Clicking here, going to my downloads. I'm gonna put my microphone closer to my mouth. Let me. Where is it? Here and here. So let's go. Come back to texture, selecting the image, clicking on this button, and then we will be able to put this image here. So next step, as you already said, you already have your bust already made, already sculpted. I will use reference mannequin. For example, if we go to tool, here we have, for example, I think the default tools that you have inside of ZBrush, I'm gonna try to use stuff that all of us already have. So maybe we can use this Yuli mannequin. So put it here. Let's this girl. It's a little bit. It's not very beautiful, but okay. Well, I think the most important thing is how to sculpt the fold, right? So let's go into subtool. Let's hide the others. Maybe it's very ugly. So let's go to geometry. We go to the highest subdivision. Okay, he's still ugly, but okay, no problem. So let's say I'm gonna delete number 5, number 1, 2, 3. So just for, because I'm going to cut out the head. So I'm gonna use the slice brush. You know that with this brush you are slicing the mesh, creating different polygroups. Slice. So looks like it doesn't work. Okay, no problem. Doesn't work. Okay, so with a control W. Now it's delete hidden, close holes. Oh, this that's the reason why it wasn't. The issue was about the layers. So we go to the layers. Let's see what layers we have here. We have this layer. Let me turn this off. Turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. That's it. Let's bake all. And now we use again the slice brush. Now it should work. Yeah, it should work. The problem was with the layer. So let's click on this polygroup, delete hidden, close hole. So we have something like this. I'm going to grab my max lasso for just for moving a little bit the head, blur the mask, invert the mask, and let me change his facing to the front. It's facing down, like this, like just for grabbing something more similar to the. How many polygons do we have? So okay. So that's the reason why we should turn this off, because I was trying to smooth this union between the neck and the jaw, and you can see nothing happens. That's because this button is still active. if we turn this off, we will be able to smooth. Okay, something like this. And let me check your comments first. Yeah, it had layers. Yeah, you were right. That's the reason why I don't very used to work with layers. That's the reason why I always forgot that there could be layers on a model active. So let me duplicate the model, duplicate it. So I'm going to transform this into Dynamesh. Let me check the first resolution. Okay, you can see you are getting a very poor, very low resolution mesh. We should increase it. So maybe a little bit more. Let's see, a little bit more. 25. Let me turn this on. 800,000 polygons maybe is too much. Yeah, something like this. When we are using that Dynamesh, when we are getting the amount of polygons, my reference is always 1 million. So if I'm going to start from scratch, from zero, starting sculpting, I'm looking for soft material to work with. So I'm looking for a low amount of polygons. So I split the million into halves. So I mean, quarter of a million, half of a million, so on. So as a starting point, quarter of a million, it's a good point for starting. You are not at the point that it's necessary to sculpt details on the surface. So something like this. Maybe we can go to polish by features, open this little dot. Let's start something like this to refill these gaps or the eye cavity, eye sockets on the mouth. We can use the smooth bodies brush. Maybe we can even reduce a little bit more, maybe to 512 resolution, below 600. Or getting even less polygons. You can see the cool thing about this brush, the smooth cavities brush. You can see I am smoothing the mesh, but I am still retaining or keeping the main values because the brush only works with the cavities. So I'm still having the nose, the eyebrows, the lips, they are still there. So that's the main difference between the regular smooth brush and the smooth cavity by cavity brush or smooth peaks. It's the opposite. Something like this. Let me turn this on. So now it's gonna be necessary to make it a little bit bigger. Let's sculpt this. I'm sorry, Mr. Smooth this a little bit. And maybe for recognize the two different tools, you can see we are about to start with two different tools: the original bust or the original head, and the fabric. This is the external. We just created an external shell from the exact copy of the same head. So let me I think like this, change the color. Maybe we can make this a little bit darker. Let's go into RGB fill object. So now we are seeing better the differences between the offset between each subtool. Hey Ezio, Piano, welcome. Welcome here, welcome. We are trying to sculpt something similar like this. So and now from this point, I was saying before, maybe we can try to use the dynamics. I haven't got too much experience about using the dynamics inside of ZBrush. In my opinion, you never get what you are looking for. You are getting something similar which works very good. We are looking for to sculpt random folds on a fabric, but when you are looking for something precise or something based from, like we are doing now, and a specific model, just talking from my experience, what you are getting using this automatical way of working, the dynamics of ZBrush, based from my experience, you never get what you are looking for. You are almost close to about what you're looking for, but it never is enough, I think, or accurate about what you're looking for. I assume I'm figure out that you already have been working with dynamics before, trying to get what you are looking for, but maybe you can, maybe I'm right. Let me know. Maybe here I'm making this bigger, and this is the cloth. I'm gonna use this brush to start filling. I'm still using the smooth valleys, right? And the best way, in my opinion, to achieve this is to start sculpting with a good reference. Edge polish. And for example, this, we should put this here. We make it wider, and maybe clay with the edge polish. You're gonna start changing the offset like this, and maybe we can push this because the cloth is hanging from the tip of the nose, something like this. Okay, let's edge polish. Anyway, I will try. Of course, I'm not going to try to make a very accurate sculpting now. I'm just trying to explain you to give you different tips or different options. So, or different tool or different brushes, just for giving to you a more tools to work with, or for getting what you are looking for. So this is, you can see here we are getting something like this. Okay, it's not exactly the same because my reference hasn't here. The volume of the head is completely different. The original from the reference has the eye closed. Mine has the close open, but hasn't any eyes. But okay, it's just for giving to you a rough idea of different tips or different workflows for achieving the result that you are looking for. I tried dynamics, is not helpful. Yeah, I'm agree with you. That's the same that I was saying before. You are getting something looks like false, look like some kind of drapery, but it's not exactly the same that you are looking for. The only way is to put time, the sculpting time, till getting what you are looking for. Cheap viewers of Gabriel Rossi and the channel was just about to watch a video of yours. Nice to see you. Okay, nice to see you here. Nice to meet you, Gabriel. For me too. Welcome for being here today. And feels so good. My God, your names about your nicknames is quite difficult to read in English for me. But anyway, welcome. So let's. I'm going to give you this. I suppose that you already know this brush, the project. This brush could be very helpful for this with the low intensity, because you can see with this brush, what you can do is to project one subtool against the other. For example, in this case, for example, with less intensity, you can start. The only problem with this brush is like the brush is, I don't know how to explain this in English, is reacting based on the camera angle. That means if I try, you can see here why I'm getting this. This is because the empty space that we are having here. So the best way to use this brush is to start making little strokes, but to start moving around, just for knowing where the limits are of the head, just in case you have missed any of the references from the sculpture, from the model that you have underneath the tool that it's covering the original head. So just having something like this. So for example, for the eyes cavities, you can, for the eyes, you can start maybe even less strength. You can see, you can use this brush, something like this. Okay, so next step, this is going to be the main format to start sculpting these strokes, to start creating the folds. You already know, if you have been watching my streamings, I am using a pack from Sakaki Kaoru. He's a Japanese artist. It's a pack of brushes, very easy to find in the internet. As you can see, I'm using the SK. That means all the brushes that I have here are my custom brushes, which start from SK, comes from his brush pack. I'm using the SK cloth and SK slash, these two brushes. They are going to be very handy in this case for start sculpting the cloth folds. And you can see I am also using the SK clay fill, for example, and SK polish. I'm using 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the brushes from his pack. They are very simple and very easy to find. So let's just start working with the SK cloth. My personal preferences is change the default alpha to the alpha 39, and now from this time, without the symmetry, of course, let's add the focal shift. Let's reduce the focal shift, something maybe a little bit here, and then we will start creating the folds like this. For example, here, let me make this a little bit bigger, something like this. Let me open my Epic Pen tool to start drawing, because I am trying to replicate this. Just for having this reference, I'm gonna try to make something similar here, just for explaining to you roughly the main process. I want to update this. Let me put this here. I'm still using the SK cloth. You know that you can use the shift key for start sculpting a straight strokes. You start the stroke, you press the shift key, and then you're gonna be able to make strokes like this. And as I was saying before, it's just a matter of sculpting time. There isn't any magic trick or magic process to create this. Now I'm going to tell you so this is the thing that we already have. You can see it at the moment, it doesn't work very well, because you can see the strokes are getting the forms of the shape. So then we are looking for something more realistic. So now the next step is to start bringing out these strokes out, for example, because we are looking to start creating some kind of tension of or try to replicating the tension of the cloth, which is falling over the eye cavity, something like this. And now we're going to start working with combining the two smooth brushes, the smooth peaks and the smooth valleys. Now I'm going to start working the smooth peaks, I'm sorry, to integrating the strokes with the with the cavity like this. And now with the smooth valleys, and now you can see here we are start integrating the strokes with the here, like here. For example, we can make a double stroke here, something like this. Smooth cavities, I'm sorry, smooth valleys like this. Maybe something goes here, goes there. Here you can see here we have two different Y's. I'm talking about the letter Y, so something like this. One stroke, one stroke, one stroke. Here we have another Y, but this is more extended. We should be start reading the original reference and then start creating the tension, the kind of tension that we are looking for. And for this, the smooth cavities or the smooth valleys is very handy because you are not smoothing everything, you are just smoothing the valleys, and this is very handy for achieving this result. For example, something like this, and something like this, something like this here, and more smooth valleys. And for example, that you are them, it's time to start combining the let me move this. We can use the escape cloth, and here with the Alt key, because we need to curve a little bit more here. Oops, I was using the symmetry. I don't want to use the symmetry. You can see here we are start getting the effect that we are looking for. For example, here where the cloth is hanging from the tip of the nose. Normally from the front it start working well, but if you put it on the side, because it doesn't work, because we need to add tension to the cloth. For making that, we can use the move brush with the back face active. And then we will try to make these things straight, or these peaks. And this is very important for having the back face active. And this is the way. This, maybe it's time to increase the dynamic resolution. Let's go to 700. Now we are having 500,000 almost. Let's go to 800. That's for having, yeah, more or less close. Now it's closer to see 100,000 polygons. And now with this technique, you start getting the result that you are looking for. Oops. With the escape cloth. And now it's time for enjoying the time that you are putting here, making the strokes, and that's it. Another technique, this is maybe we can call this the freehand sculpting, when you are sculpting all the stroke by hand and smoothing all of the part by hand. But another technique that I can tell you, it's with a mask. I'm going to work on this fold. I'm going to turn on the lazy mouse for this turn. Let me and start making a mask. Invert the mask, and now we can start making the folds this way. Maybe this techniques will works better with the stronger folds, or with the bigger folds, I mean, when you can start making something like this. And for example, with the fold that you have here, another one, let me see what I do, maybe one that goes from here to here, invert the mask, and now we can push out just the middle without the back base, something like this. With the smooth valleys, again, it's a good way to integrate and combining different kind of maskings. Maybe I'm going to use this one. Let's blur the mask, invert the mask, and let me push this in. Or making something, push this in. Something like this. You can see you can just start creating something. Let me put another one here. Blur the mask, invert the mask, and we can push this out this way here. With using the smooth peaks and the smooth valley, when you're making a stroke from the front, from this way, you can see a straight line or a regular line. But when you're turning your model, these strokes has been adapted to the surface, so it is not straight. It has some kind of not completely regular strokes, and you are looking for something with more tension. You want to go from here to here. And for achieving this, for fixing this, is when you are looking for is to make a straight line like this, the pink line. So it's going to be necessary to reduce this little bumps that you are having here. And this is where you should use the smooth peaks, because with the smooth peaks you are going to start to find the right balance between the valleys and the peaks, till getting a completely straight line. So if I will try to find you a practical example. You can see here, it is not regular. If you use the smooth peaks, you can see here how you can start getting more relaxed and more straight and perfect lines. For example, here we are having here the same problem. It goes up, down, up again. We can fix this with the, if it is not enough, of course we can grab the move brush again and start making the fine-tune tweaks with this movement. But this is and more things. For example, we can let me make another, we can make a mask here. So don't forget to use, not only use the sculpting brushes for sculpting forms, so you can use the masks. The masks are very useful because you can bend this over this part, this, for getting deeper folds or wrinkles like this. Another method that I can give you is using this last brush with a low intensity, maybe a little bit less, more. You can start making something, maybe more intensity. With this brush, you also are creating a little step between the highest point and the lowest point. Maybe you are getting an almost 90-degree angle here. It goes here, 90 degrees, goes up, until getting another level. But in my opinion, it's much better to use a mask instead of trying to replicate all of the strokes manually. Like this, you burn the mask, you can push this out, something like this. And with the smooth valleys, you can integrate till getting the results that you are looking for. And this is the main concept of the main idea for start sculpting, refining, and with till getting the results that you are looking for. Let me know if you find it useful. Yeah, I always recommend that brush pack. They're very useful. This is my favorite one, the SK clay field brush, but I use very often the SK slash and the SK cloth brushes. Hey Arturo, welcome. Glad you are here again. Can I talk about the news of ZBrush 2026? Yes, of course. Any useful tools, processes for us like jewelry designers? I'm afraid maybe the main new tool that you have, or let me know first, Hart, if you found this useful or interesting for you in terms of to start sculpting your. You can do this with the C project brush to start getting a combination of, for example, the eye socket, just in case you lose the eye socket. Is a good reference. It's a good way for getting but I think the tool of the brush will give you better finishings. Is going to be for this kind of sculpting is the smooth valleys brush. Okay, glad to know that. Let me know if you have any more questions, but as a final conclusion is you need to sculpt it with a good reference, and that's it. It's a matter of sculpting time, practice. Okay, you go to the ZBrush Central. Just for answering the question from Arturo, you go to here for the notes. You will find here I'm not an iPad user, so I'm only focused about the ZBrush for desktop. So the Python scripting, I haven't got any knowledge about the scripting, so maybe in the future, just for any of you, if you know how to write the code for creating your own code for your own plugins and stuff like that, I suppose that it will be very useful. You will have new C modeler updates. I'm not a big user of C modeler, so most of the stuff that I do is just sculpting with the sculpting brushes. So from time to time I use C modeler, but I haven't got a deep knowledge about C modeler. So for me, for having the possibility of managing the edges in one way or another way, honestly, I don't find any differences because I don't used to make hard surface stuff very often. This is the noise maker. This is my favorite addition. You can see when you are using the noise maker, now you can edit your alphas that you import into the noisemaker. You can rotate it, you can rotate, you can scale it at both axes, you can squeeze it. This is going to be a big advantage, as we already have in the past, where for example, if you have been creating a UVs and you want to grab around to the image on a curved surface, if the alpha is wasn't well placed, you should come back again to the UV editor, to the UV master, rotate it, and come back again to copy and paste again the new UVs, and coming back again to the noisemaker to start working on that image again. But now you are going to be able to edit that alpha image inside of the noisemaker. This is going to be a big issue. And the new stuff about the pro projects, haven't got any new or anything to say, and the rest is for iPad. My favorite addition is this one, where you can rotate up the image to get the perfect alignment, scaling, and you can scale, offset, squeeze, and rotate the alphas that you are using inside of the noisemaker. And if we are talking about jewelry designers, we are still using the same tools. Of course, the noisemaker is going to be a big addition for us if you are about to apply a texture on a ring, or on a pendant, or on a surface. Now you are going to save time, because it's not going to be necessary to come back again to the UV master, rotate your UVs, come back again to the noisemaker for getting the right placement. So now inside of the noisemaker, you're going to be able to play with the position of the alpha that you are importing into the noisemaker. This is going to be the best. The best addition is just for saving time. It is not adding new capabilities, but it will give you the possibility of save time during your work process. Making the same sculptor. You just took the reference. Okay, oh, this one. Well, pues, that's the way of working to start sculpting. I recommend you maybe for the main idea, the main point is to start working with the maskings. I was showing to you the combination of these two brushes, the advantages of the smooth peaks and the smooth valleys, but maybe the best way of working will be to start blocking first the main faults. For example, if you start looking for this fault, goes from the top of the head, passing through the eyes till the cheek, until the neck. Maybe the best way of do this will be with the mask, with the mask pen. You start painting the path of the fault from the beginning till the end. Maybe applying a blur, little bit of blur of the mask is going to be a good idea. Invert the mask. You know that if you are using the Alt key, you have the ability of push in or push out the geometry 90 degrees from the surface. That means that you can just move this into any of the directions that you have, this direction. But if you are using the Alt key, you are pushing out the geometry 90 degrees from the surface, and in this case it's going to be very useful. Oh, I forgot to mention something. Another addition that I can tell you is store your morph target. Store morph target. Then we can push this out with less strength, something like this. Maybe we can use now the smooth peaks to balance, to find some balance, getting something like this. Then you can remove the mask, smooth valleys, for the integration of the surface. And now you can use the morph target to start fading without the color. Start fading, for example, if at any point you need to fade a little bit more the tension of the cloth there, this is going to be handy, having the morph target previously recorded. So you will be able to remove part of the stroke or to fade parts of the stroke, and that's it. Maybe this one will be the best way. So now once you have the stroke, you can grab the other escape cloth and start adding more strength here. And for example, here where you have a cavity that we made before, move with the back face, you can start applying the tension till getting this result. The same thing here, for example, the cavity here you have here on the neck, you can do almost the same with the same concept. Invert the mass, move, Alt key, push this in. Smooth valleys, smooth peaks, and then you can start move now with the back face. You can start creating stuff like this. If you are using this model as a reference, another advice that I can tell you is forget the tiny or the little faults to start making the big ones. This one, for example, start making this one, start making this one, and this one, for example, or this one. And then for the second stage, you can start breaking this into two, making this cavity, breaking this into two parts. So it's just to try to find as more organized as possible workflow. So if you start making falls without any sense, maybe it's not going to work as the original reference. So start from the big ones and start breaking the big one into smaller ones. For example, saying here, you can make one big one, and then you can start breaking this into two. That will works better. Okay. Hope it helps. Maybe I'm sorry for don't give you any magic trick or any magic technique for achieving this in seconds or in minutes, but it's a matter of time. I'm making the same sculpture. Yeah, Dexter, we need an angel to make. Yeah, Python body blue raised arm. Yeah, but don't forget that you are looking for something like Kitco. If we go to where is it? My plugins here. Okay, for any of you who don't know what Kitco is Kitco Meta Quotes is this plugin. If you are when you are clicking this button, now this is the main problem that we are having, an error something. The error is telling to us current prices for metals not found in the text file. This is why this happens, because what the plugin does is going to the original website from Kitco. If you go to the Kitco, we go here. Where are you? Let me grab this. We go to Kitco. This is I don't consent. Okay, this is the web page from Kitco. You can see also the icon have changed. The reason why they rebuilt the website completely So now this is the main reason why the plugin doesn't work, because the plugin goes to an address where it doesn't find anything related to the weights or related to the prices. That's the main reason why the Kitco plugin doesn't work. But for us, or at least for me, don't forget that if you go to this, to here, you have this button here, analyze, select the subtools, when you have different units to select, millimeters, centimeters, meters, and inches and foot. So if we are working in millimeters, usually with we are talking about jewelry. So you can see here, ZBrush is giving to us the volume. The volume is milliliters, cubic centimeters. So I already have one Excel made. I need to find the reference to the guy who gave me this. Let me find it. Okay, this one. I will show you. This is an Excel page, right? Let me. Okay. I want to make it smaller, bigger. You can do this by your own. You can see, you can, okay, this is the, I can give a credit to the guy who made this. If you go to GTR Design, this is a guy who is having some in YouTube videos about Rhino for jewelry designs. You can practical Rhino jewelry cut tutorials if you are looking for this. So you will find, you can see now the metal weights calculated using the both formulas are estimated and approximate. Most of the time when we are talking about jewelry, it's quite difficult to be very accurate, or at least we are talking about 100% accurate or precise, because when we are talking about weight, the weights are directly linked with the densities of the metals, or depending on the kind of metal or the kind of alloy that we are using for that metal, the density can be different. So depending on the foundry that you are using, they can modify the kind of alloy that you are using when we are talking about 18 karat gold or 14 karat gold. So use this with caution, because you should know that this is not 100% precise, but to estimate a global weight as we did on the Kitco in the past is going to work. So you should put here the value of the volume here, milliliters. This is the point, it's a comma. For us, it's a point, it's 6 and 871 is 6 871, and this is the weight in. Okay, this is a very big piece, I think. Let me see, how big is this? If we go to the scale master, yeah, it's about we are talking about gold is almost 4 centimeters, so it's a very big chunk of gold. So if we are talking about gold, we are talking about more than 800 grams of gold. This is going to be very expensive. This hasn't too much sense. For example, if I come back to my design is here. If, for example, I want to know how bold is this, how weight is this piece, just this volume, I can go to analyze, select the subtool, millimeters, and now here having 0.515, 0.515, and this is, we are having 8 grams of 18 karat gold for this. And for example, if we are looking for another pieces, we can be calculating this, and this is as easy as, if we go to the formula here, you can see it's as easy as to multiply this is, for example, this one is the D4, is this volume by 1.5. Is this the volume that we are putting here by 1.5. As you can see here, the different formulas that we are having here, and this is the D4. Okay, it's using the weight in silver. Okay, the first step that it takes is multiplying this value that we are reading here by 1036. This value is related to the density of the metal, in this case silver, and depending on the alloy, the kind of alloy you are using, as I was saying before, big caution with this. And then he multiplied, it gets different weights based on the weight on this column of silver weight. And here you have silver, gold, and platinum, and the different alloys of gold from 9 carats to 22 carats. This is very strange to find, but what I want to show you, this is you have the volume here. If you're having the value, ZBrush is already giving to you the volume of the mesh. Once you have the value, the only thing that you should know is the density of the metal that you are looking for. Just multiplying the metal by the density of the metal by the volume, you will get the final weight. And that's it. And you will have an approximate weight of the piece that you are creating inside of ZBrush. So I think we are not going to need anymore the Kitco metal quotes. Probably in the future, if I try to learn to codify and scripting with Python in the future, we can create a nice a plugin to install inside of ZBrush. But today it's as easy to make a multiplication between two numbers. Can I use the curve brushes to make those big folds? Yeah, you can do it. You can do it, but the good thing about the masking, could be a good idea, but I prefer to make it with a mask. For example, I'm gonna paint you here another example. The good thing about the mask is that you can push out or push in, applying different strength to the path. So for example, if you are looking for this, for example, let me try to make something realistic from the ear to here to till the bottom. You can push this out, something like this. So you can apply more strength till the beginning and start fading the stroke at the end. So conclusion, you will have more control using this process instead of using a curve brush. With a curve, you're gonna get a regular surface all along the surface of the mesh. So after, you will need to push in or push out the different parts of the fold. But with this technique, it's going to be easier to fade the ending or to start adding different heights during the path. In my opinion, this is more handy than using curve brush. Working with masking, with the different masks. Hola Andrés, bienvenido. Vamos bien aquí en directo. As always, where the companies give us hard time, the community saves. Yeah. The community, and even today that we already have the ability to start codifying or start coding plugins with Python, I think people has more knowledge about Python than CS scripting. So I think in the future we are gonna get more and more plugins and more tool for making automatical stuff or workflows. And I have to recognize that I'm very lazy to start studying and start to learning how to use Python today, but maybe I will wait before I start using Python for possible future plugins. Okay, so what time is it now? We have been talking 1 hour about this technique, so maybe we can come back to the design that we were making before. I'm going to check. Let me know, Harsh, if you have any more questions or doubts about these techniques. You can integrate on the process chat GPT. I don't know. I'm not a very big fan about AI, but just to start thinking and recognizing that I haven't got too much experience about this. Maybe you can tell to your chat GPT, try to write me a code in Python about this to start making these steps. Maybe in the future, a chat GPT will help us to try to avoid to learn coding from scratch. So could be a good idea. So we should go to that help, start grabbing the code that we can grab from the chat GPT and install it in ZBrush, and let's see if it works. I don't know. I'm talking from this period, from the ignorance. Hola Andrés, no soy Tomás, soy Nacho. I'm sorry, I will read an answer to Andrés in Spanish. Busco donde aprender todo lo relacionado con joyería. Tengo experiencia en controlador, pero es mi primera vez mirando cosas de joyería y quiero aprender. Pues la mejor opción que tienes es estar aquí todos los meses, porque no te puedo recomendar ningún curso a día de hoy sobre esto. Yo trato de hacer un directo todos los meses sobre ZBrush aplicado a joyería. Entonces, si en ese momento, como estamos ahora, tú puedes venir con tus dudas, con quiero hacer esto, cómo haces esto, es el momento de estar y preguntar. Estaré encantado de ayudarte. No problem, you are Italian. Yeah, Python string. But I already understood you, Alessandro. Maybe yes, you can try to start telling to your chat GPT to start giving to you a code in Python. I was showing to you before, if you go to the ZBrush Central thread about the new release, you go here and you click on here and you go to the Python section, Python scripting. So you will find here this link here, and here you will find online documentation and Python SDK. This is the library with living codes about Python. Maybe you will find here more documentation and more information about how the Python works inside of ZBrush. You can see that the manuals and the documentation, it is still under development. Well, I think maybe we need to wait a little bit more because the manuals are not still available and the examples are not still available, but the SDK you can access here to a forum to ask people if you are, just in case you are having problems with any code. I don't know how this works, and maybe in the future we will be getting more and more documentation and more examples about how this works, because other softwares have implemented these options for years, and there are many people there with enough experience to help to the people who are coming from ZBrush, which don't have the same experience. But in the future, this is going to be a big change, probably, in terms of plugins or macros or stuff like that in the future. Okay, thanks. Casey Foxer, in time everything will be considered via prompt because no one wants to invest the time to learn. Yes, sadly yes. Sadly yes, but yes, yeah, you are right. You are right. You're right. As we were talking something similar at the beginning of the streaming, because if, for example, we want to achieve something like this, the first thought that comes to your mind is let's see if I find the best and the easiest ways to approach that with I don't know with what, but this is the first thought that always that comes to our mind. So instead of putting the effort, the time, the necessary effort till mastering the falls or to mastering the sculpting. Today, even more with the AI, people are looking for the easiest path and the easiest way to achieve something. And this is going to happen exactly the same with the coding. But maybe we're talking about coding and sculpting. Maybe we're talking about completely different fields. But people are looking for exactly the same. The shortest way for getting the things. Okay, I already have one reference here somewhere about the Beetle. But this is the main reason why I love to be here on the streamings. Is being here talking with you or chatting with you, discussing things. Of course, I'm trying to sculpt something or to show you something inside of ZBrush, but for me the funniest part is being here chatting with you during these 2 hours. Let's go to texture, import, and let's looking for the reference I just opened for the Beetle. Transform texture like this. Let me rotate it. Let's make it smaller. No, this is not this icon, it's this one. I'm going to remove this one to do the here. I only want to use this one. Let's make it bigger. You can see the Beetle is not exactly the same, but we can, because you can see all the necessary elements are already there. If I grab this reference, because they are not, okay, the wings, I still need to make the wings. I forgot the wings, so let's start with the wings, them. And the wings has this little color feathers. Let me put this here. This little feathers that I assume I think that the feathers they will be different gaps for enameling or applying a color inside of each single gap. So we need to create a wing composed by little gaps like this. Let's see how we can approach that. The first thought that comes to my mind is to start making the wings straight, and once we have the wings we can bend it and adapt it to the ring curve part like this. So maybe I'm going to append a plane 3D. Where is it? It's here. Let's make it bigger. No, the plane. Make it bigger. Like this. Maybe like this. Just for calculating how big the wing should be. I'm going to use the plane just as a template. Like this. No, let's put it in the center like this, and let's keep this only visible. And now I'm going to turn on my C plane. Where is it? Here is here. You can see it's a little plane, a little grid here at the bottom. If we go to draw, to the draw section here, we can make it bigger, and we can go to the map 1 and map 2 from the front and back. This is the Z axis. Clicking on the map 1, let's select this. We can adjust, and I'm going to grab only the reference for the wing, just for having a reference, because of course the wing on the drawing is already curved, but just for having a reference for the composition. So just clicking OK. Let's go to fill mode from 1 to 3. Now we are able to see through the geometry. Let's start rotating. Rotate, rotate, and rotate this way. And let's make it this smaller. And this could be a reference. I'm going to save this file, see grid. This is the grid for the wing. So clicking on this button, you will save, I will show you here, a CGR file. CGR file, it's a file of the C grid that we just made with the image, with the cropped image, with its position that we already made. And now we can start creating the wing. Let's start, as we were talking about before, let's start thinking about the fastest way and the easiest way. Let's see if it works. Now this is the topology that we have. Maybe we can go to geometry measure, looking for the double amount of polygons, square. We are reaching one more. Okay, let's see, like this. And now with the mask, I'm going to paint. Okay, let me change the opacity here so we can start drawing the contour of the wing. This is one feather, another feather, another feather. Maybe it's gonna be necessary to add more polygons. As more polygons we have, we are going to be able to define better the mask on the surface. So we will get more accuracy on the corners, on the lines. Something like this, something like this, something like this. Maybe like this, and maybe no, maybe we can go here. This is what we get. Let's see if this works. We go to masking, mask bar region. Yeah, it works. It's a saving time just for Dom being filling the hole. Let's fix some curves. So on the image is telling to me that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 feathers. So this is going to be the base for the wing. So now we go to extract. Extract. You can click here, but if we are talking about jewelry, we are talking about measurements, we are talking about precision of millimeters. I just remember you that you have this nice plugin called Precision Extract. Where is it? Where am I? Precision Extract plugin. This one, where you can tell to ZBrush the necessary thickness in millimeters when we are extracting something from a mask. So we are about to start extracting a piece of metal, which is going to be necessary to being careful for making the cavities for the necessary gaps for each feather for the enameling. Maybe we can be talking about maybe 2 millimeters thickness. Let's try it. And we put here 2 millimeters, and we turn off double, because double means that we are about to extract 2 millimeters from one surface and another 2 millimeters to the other face or the other surface. So at the end we are going to get 4 millimeters. So that's the reason why I turned this off, because we are just looking for a 2 millimeter thickness piece of geometry. So precision extract, and this is what we get. This is 2 millimeters. If we want to double check this with the transpose line from top to bottom, you can read here on my top left corner, we are having a 2 millimeter thickness piece of geometry. In terms of proportions with the rest of the design, you can see more or less it has sense. Okay, this is a starting point. Maybe 2 millimeters, maybe it's too thick. Maybe we can go to 1.8. Let's try it again. We come back again to here. Control Z, and now we can 1.8 here. Precision extract. So we have 1.8 and 2 millimeters. You can see here, this is a little bit thinner. As a starting point, maybe it's gonna be better to start with 1.8 instead of 2 millimeters. Let's see, because if we're about to start creating the gaps for the enamel, we're gonna need some gaps like this. So this is going to be a feather. The feather is going to have a gap like this. So this is one feather. And now we are, most of the time when we are talking about enameling, so we are looking for a depth of 0.6 millimeter from, this is the depth of this size. So that means that we need to here 0.6, and if we grab now our transpose line, 0.6 is 0.8, 0.6. It's gonna be here. Here I'm having almost 0.7. Here I'm having 0.6895 millimeter. So that means that having something like this. So that means that the difference between the depth of the cavity and the thickness of the metal, now we are having here, I'm talking now about this thickness. Here I'm having here from top to bottom 0.9 millimeter thickness of metal. That means that we can make the wing even thinner. So we are starting from 1.8 and maybe we can go to 1.7, and we are gonna have enough success with the casting and with the printing, I think. So if we want to change this thickness now, it's not going to be necessary to make the extraction again. We can go now to the scale master, reading the units. You can see it has 1.8 millimeter. It's going to be important now to turn this off because we don't want to change all of the subtools. We don't want to change all of the 3 axes. We only want to change only one, the thickness. Then we should turn this off, and then we can tape here 1.7. And now resize subtool. Let's go to 1.6. Let's see. 1.6. Always looking for the minimum when we are talking about jewelry, because we most of the time, we can say always, we are looking for the minimum amount of metal, the minimum amount of weight. 1.6. 1.6. This is 0.6 here, and this is 0.8 millimeter thickness at the base of the wing. Okay, it's gonna be enough like this. We are right. As a starting point, we are going to the right measurements. Maybe as we are creating a separate element from the design, I'm gonna create a new folder. This is going to be the folder related to the wings, and let's start working with only with this, the content of this folder, because at this point it's not necessary to keep visible the rest of the design. Casey, did you show the new UV menu? Actually, I already started to use AI to create base meshes sometime. How did it work? Did it work well to start creating base meshes? Because as far as I see, the base mesh that you are creating with AI, okay, as a base mesh is useful, but maybe I can save. I'm not saving a lot of time with that process. Today is useful to start creating your base meshes, but in terms of productivity, I don't find it very, very useful. Did you show the new UV menu? No, I didn't, because the new UV editor will be shown in the next release. Maybe we are talking about the ZBrush 2026.1. So we need to wait till then. But it is coming. A new, completely brand new editor for UVs. Casey Forster, your streams are awesome. Nacho, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the conversation over the past year and a bit. Yeah, that's as I was saying before. This is the best part about the streaming. It's about the social media, just for start connecting with people and learning from more people. So I'm discussing things and trying to learn, increase or start growing your base of knowledge from people around the world. Pastor, how long did I take you to sculpt the latest amazing work you posted on? Yeah, I was Fexter is asking about this. It seems like a lot of work. It is not true. I will show you. This is the design that Fexter is talking about. I will show you here on my Instagram. Fexter is asking about this design I was making during the beta of this latest version of ZBrush with 2026. Now from this Monday or from this Saturday or from this Friday, we are allowed to show what we did during the beta testing, and this is what I did during that part of the process. And it took to me 2 days, maybe. If we're talking about working hours, maybe 16 hours or even less, because I already had most of the feathers already did from a previous design, not as they are now, more or less, but the rest is completely new. But it is not very complicated. I can show you this image I did as a working process. I will show you. I don't remember if I already posted on the internet, on my social media. This image. This is about the workflow. You can see here. This is the process of this design. This is starting from this. Therefore, start blocking the shapes or blocking the composition. Then from here you jump to here, where you start sculpting the small details on the small, for example, the anatomy on the arm. Just start working more on the head and so on. And then going from here to here is not a big change, because this is just related to creating the right UVs, applying the surface noise with the scale alpha, and you have the design already made. So, and keep in mind that we are creating a brooch. As when you are working on pendants, the back of the design is almost flat, so you don't care about what is happening on the back of the design at this point. Okay, I have to say that the design is it is not 100% made ready for production, because the back part of the design is not made or is not detailed with the manufacturing in mind. But this kind of design is not a very complicated design. This is the part which takes more design. If we're talking about this design, is the concepting part. When you don't know what you are doing, what you know what you want, or you have something in your mind, but you still need to be fighting with your thoughts and with your trial and error steps. And this is the part which takes more time to complete the whole thing. But once you like the composition, it's on a straight line till the end. So I can show you. This is the board of inspiration that I collected. You can see here, this is the idea that came to me. Gavin, you can see here almost I was the head of the lion, or the chimera is based on this design. The image is very poor. You can see here you don't almost see anything. You need to sculpt it almost from scratch. And this is the concept where the one animal is hanging the head or the neck of the snake. For grabbing this is the same with the same concept. This is very you can find many designs related to this concept when you have a fighting dragon or fighting chimera against a snake. It has their own meaning. You can see here, and this is the concepting. Or the feathers, talking about the feathers and talking about the concept. But keep in mind, you just start from scratch. You are just having one idea, one reference as the base of your idea, and you need to develop the whole composition. And this is the thing that takes more time to complete. If we are talking about the time of the design. Yeah, the Lalika snakes, I love them too. I love all this stuff from Lalika. Your models are way too good. Thank you very much. 3D with K. How many hours you take for a ring? Say a white flower ring. I don't remember that ring. Depending on, as I was saying before, the thing that which takes more time is the concepting time or the designing time, where you don't know where you go. So you start playing around with different ideas, different concepts. You start making something one day and the next day you don't like it at all. So you need to start again from scratch because you don't like it. This is the part of the design or of the working time which takes more time. But once you have the idea blocked on everything, it's working. It's maybe depending on the difficulty or the complexity of the design, maybe 2 or 3 days. Or talking about when I'm saying days, we are talking about working days. We're working about around 8-10 hours or even less each day. But it is a job that you enjoy. Time flies, so you start putting time because you don't realize how many hours you are putting on something. Gracias, Andrés. Me alegro que te guste. Using AI, you spend 30 minutes in a nice prompt, resulting in a base mesh, more or less. But Arturo, when you are talking about base mesh, that means that once you have the prompt, when you have the image from a prompt, you send that image to a 3D generator AI software, right? So, and from that software, you are grabbing the base mesh to start working from. So now we are talking about 2 different steps. We are talking about the prompt, and once you have the image, you need to create the mesh or the volume or the 3D object. Once you have the 3D object, you have, we can say, 10% or 5%, maybe 50% of the job already done. Because maybe today start writing prompts is a good idea because you start throwing words and throwing ideas, and the ChatGPT is giving to you new images to work with. So you start visualizing things faster, but from that point you still need to create the object or the thing that you are creating. So that's the reason why at the end you are not saving such amount of time, because what I do is collect many different references and many different images and start mixing all of them on my head till I get the result that I like. You just substitute that part from ChatGPT or from an AI software, which do almost the same, start collecting images and start giving to you the thing that you just wrote as a prompt, if I am right. Depending on the knowledge and experience, you can make that base in 10 minutes. At the end, that was not a good. Yeah, that's right. Because if I come back again, let me show you again this. I will show you this again. We are talking about this part of the job, right? We are talking about this. This is the base mesh. So here you are fighting with your thoughts, with your ideas, till you are getting the right composition, right? So the time that you are wasting here is the time that you are saving using an AI application, I suppose. But for example, for me, once I have this, I have more time advanced because everything is organized inside of ZBrush in different polygroups, in different meshes, to start working with them faster than grabbing a base mesh from a 3D generator software based from AI, where I need to start chopping the base mesh, selecting or refining the things that I don't like. At the end, I'm going to waste more time refining the base mesh that I get from an AI software than making my own AI from scratch inside of ZBrush. This is the present that we have now, based from my experience, of course. Maybe I have lost something with a very special software or application with that makes magic or magical things that I don't know. I don't know. Casey, the thing is, you can say you did it 100% on your own. Well, yes, that is true, but considering that you wrote the prompts, you wrote those prompts based from your ideas and from your requirement, you can say you also did that part of the process. The AI is just translating what you are saying. I don't know. Today it's a hard time to recognize where are the limits between traditional art or manual art or human art compared to machine or computer generated art. I don't know. It is hard to define. Yeah, sure, that it depends on your workflow to use. Yeah, that's the reason why, as I already have my workflow stabilized, very developed during the years. Now I'm not saving a lot of time using an AI because I'm very fast making my base meshes when I want to create something. This is and for talking about the people who is starting, my opinion is not a good idea to start making prompts and avoid start learning the necessary process or making your own base message from scratch, because as we were talking about before, you are not learning the necessary things which are the base of everything. So you are using the judgment, you are training your eye, you are learning concepts as composition, balance, weight, many different must things to learn when we are talking about art that the prompt is making for you or the AI is making for you. So you are not learning that part of the art. So I don't know. I not agree with the AI today. I don't want to talk about AI because I don't want to push to the people to use AI. Maybe in the future it's going to be inevitable. We should use it everything always. But today, I think my opinion is not a good idea to start showing the usage of AI applied to the software, because for me it's more important to learn the basics instead of staying to an AI to avoiding that part of the process. Yeah, this is a huge topic. Yeah, huge today. Huge is a very huge discussion that we can take. Alessandro Tony, do you see a sphere? Yes. Let me see if I can open that file here in this version, because I did that design with the 2026 beta. But probably I can open it here. Yeah, this is, you can see this is the base mesh. You can see here on the back it's completely flat. Okay, it is flat because you can see I used a cube for cutting out the vertical. And let me see if here I have the snake for the body of the snake. Here, there you go. You can see here, this is the snake. Okay, this is not a snake. But yes, the answer to your question is yes. When we are talking about the snakes, I always start from spheres. But I can see here, this is not the spheres of the body because I changed it. I think this is the oldest file that I can open. Let me see. This is the number 1. Let's see how the number 2 looks like. Okay, this is the number 2. Okay, the number, yeah, no, there's the same sphere chain. I don't remember now why I have this sphere chain. I don't remember why the sphere doesn't match the final pose of the snake. But anyway, I did the snake of the body of the snake with sphere, because the sphere are very flexible in terms of designing, because you can move things very fast where you're not sure what you are doing, so you are just playing around with the form, with the curves, with this bigger, this smaller. So it's a very fast way for sketching, for finding the right form of the snake. For example, if we talk about the body of the dragon or the chimera, it's this one. For this one, it's not necessary to use sphere because it's just a simple S, and this is very easy to handle or to move it. I used the curve tube snap brush in this case, just drawing an S, and then I can make it bigger, smaller, open, or bigger or wider with the move brush and with the masking and with the transpose, and that's it. But when we are talking about the snakes, where the snake needs to be coiled, needs to be grabbing around something, I think, in my opinion, the sphere is the best method. You don't learn from AI, no. You learn how to avoid to learn things with AI. The real intelligence will never be better. Yeah, that's yeah. Maybe it sounds a bit romantic, but it is true. It is true. But in the future, maybe we are going to a world where those words will have less and less value, I think. That's great. At the moment, I'm working on a Spinosaurus skull. Do you have any tips? Anyway, I would like to. Spinosaurus skull. Let me skull. If we put it here on Google. Okay, you are talking about this? Are you talking about this? Are you talking about this kind of a skull? Yeah, okay. Do you know how shadow box works? This is a question for you. Do you know how it works? Nope. Okay, I will show you. I will try. I try to show you something different, because when I say difference, it is something that everybody knows, or even people who enough experience about ZBrush. I want to say that I'm not inventing anything. I don't have any copyright about the processes or the methods that I'm showing to you here. And even with that, I don't remember what it was. Shadow box here. Let me start with a sphere, and if you go here to shadow box, where am I? The shadow box. Oh, okay, I need to make a polymesh first. Polymesh, and I need to go shadow box. And here you have the resolution of the box. Maybe I prefer, instead of 128, maybe 112. And let's create a shadow box. And this is what we get. The shadow box, it's a box which creates new meshes based from a shadow, or in this case based from a mask. In this case, if I remove the mask, control drag, you can see the object inside of the box disappears. So if we, let me find here, you can see here we already have the image attached to the previous plane that we used for the wing. For example, if you open, in this case, the z-axis corresponds to the Z, to this part of the box, right? So if we go to draw, we go to the map one and we can import. I'm going to attach the image of the skull. I just download it like this. So you can make it bigger like this. And maybe it's gonna be a good idea to split the craniums from the jaw. right? But the cool thing about this method that I'm about to show you, let me make this smaller. Because my screen is not very big. Okay. So now you can start painting the good thing about this is the cavities, the negative spaces that you have inside of the skull, like this. When we are talking about this kind of cavities, we are talking about dinosaurs, we are talking about horses, we're talking about bears, dogs, and whatever. So this could be the trickiest part for achieving this kind of cavities, but I will start painting a mask, following the contour. You can see what I get. All the mask I paint. Let me fill the gap inside. This is what we get. And now the cool thing about this process, I can start removing the unwanted, the negative spaces. I can Control Alt. Something like this, and let me load the image as a reference on the canvas. Texture because it's difficult to see what is happening here. Okay, this is more than this is also a window here. I don't know, maybe here we're having another window, maybe. Yes, and it is connected with the articulation of the jaw. Maybe okay, let's do it. So maybe we want to be more accurate from an anatomical point of view. Maybe we should have more images to check, but just for making it fast, maybe something like this. And you can see here what you are getting. You are getting the base mesh with your empty spaces. If you turn this off, you already have this thing. Then from this point, you can make it thicker like this. If you are having a top view from the skull, you can match it. And now, for example, you can go to taper, make it this small or something like this, and using the right symmetry. In this case, it's not the X, this could be the Y, now it's the Z axis with the move. Now it's time to start giving the right shape. And from this point, you can, now we are having low amount of polygons. We can go to Dynamics and start sculpting and refining the object. Maybe more resolution. Yeah, half of quarter of a million. You can grab this is the brush that I like to call the sandpaper. This is the polish brush. You should use this brush with the alky. With the alky, so then you're gonna start removing the corners. It's just when you're having a block and you start sanding the surface, giving shapes like that, or with the smooth peaks, the same thing. Smoothing the corners, and then at this point you can start corner thing. In this part, the creasiness should be a little bit more something like this. You only have one view already blocked, so you can start blocking all of the views. So to start, and then from this point, it's just a matter of start. For example, now I can use the move infinity with the back face mask, and now I can start matching better the profile of the skull like this. But the main thing that we have here is that we already have the necessary cavities of the skull, the negative spaces. And then from this point, when you have the blocking, very, very rough and very basic, but this is a very good starting point to work with, having the necessary gaps inside of the skull. You are welcome. Glad you like it. This is a very old-fashioned way of working. A shadow box. Maybe this tool could has maybe we are talking about 8 years or even more, 10 years old. This is a very old stuff from ZBrush from the very beginnings, I think. Yeah, I already tried Nacho and I like it. I like them. Nacho like to eat nachos. Yes, I like them. Creative is practice. Yeah, it's repetition plus reinvention over time. Then you do a thing, then you make it better next time, and you do this over to learn. Yeah, this is the base of everything. That's the base of everything. But working with a computer, most of the time people forget that thing. So you need to learn everything, repeating and learning and developing your own skills. So the computer is just a tool. Sinabel, do you send my pieces out for casting or do you cast them? No, I send them out for casting. If you go to my website, this is my name, nachoriesco.com. You go to the gallery sections and you click on the cam and casting part of the process. Here you will have a collection of pictures taken from casted pieces. So finished pieces, this is the design just from the casting from the tree. And this is the before polishing, this is the after printing, this is the finish, this is a finished design. You have a collection of different stages of the manufacturing processes with the raw casting in silver. Here you can see this is the in steel with a portion of the sprue here. This is the printed piece, this is the casted piece, this is the printed casted, but raw casted before polishing. This is the finished piece with the stone set and with the pearl already set. And here we have a collection of different. This is those pictures were taken from or were sent from my clients or from the casting house that I use for casting. Most of them are my designs, but for example, this design comes from a Japanese brand which has a jewelry brand. The name is Strange Brick. It has a very awesome stuff, and most of them are my designs. For example, this is not my design. This is a commission from a client. This is the finished product. This is the it is not very often that the clients give it to me permission for posting, but some of them are unfriendly enough and giving to me permission for posting their jobs. So here you have a collection of different examples. I didn't mention, but here at my bottom you can see you have here my Linktree address. There you will find access to. I will paste it on the chat to all of you. Let me find it first. There you will have access to. I will copy. I'm talking about this. You will have access also for some stuff that I share for free. In this case, this is a bundle of a package of Keyshot 9 materials. You have access to my website, to my Arstation, to my YouTube channel, Instagram, and so on. All my social media places, capes that I have. So I will share it with you. Where is the restream? I don't know, where am I? I'm sorry, but I have lost. This is the reference for the skull. This is the. I forgot. I have lost the restream chat. They should be here. Oh, okay, here, this is the chat. Here, I can know the chat, and here. Okay, there you go. I closed the tab by mistake. Sinabel, your high school student just entering the class right now, and they say, "Hey, hello to everybody." Hey, and welcome. You're very welcome to the class or to the stream or whatever. Hope you are learning something. It's a ZBrush basic class, so okay. So enjoy the software and enjoy the digital sculpting. This is the main concept that you are using when you are using ZBrush, digital sculpting, and this is I found it very fun, and I hope you too. Andre Moyana, you already started following you. Thank you very much on Instagram. So just be free to start following me if you want. Here under the shadows, let me turn this on. And looks like I have lost some of your comments from the previous chat. Okay, but okay, we only have 3 minutes left because we finished after 2 hours, so I started almost 2 hours ago. Just if any of you are still having any questions or any comments, I'm sorry because I didn't make any big progress with the ring. Also, I made this during the whole streaming. I'm sorry about that because okay, I will try to follow with this design on my next streaming. I have to say that I used to make one streaming once a month, so my next streaming will happen in October, of course. I will be here sculpting this ring or trying to sculpting something, because today we have been talking more than sculpting, but this is one thing that I love. I prefer to being talking instead of sculpting, or trying to make both things at the same time, but today we were talking about completely different things than making more progress on this design. And okay, I'm sorry but that I can't check the previous messages because I think that I closed the wrong tab by mistake of Restream with all of your comments. Okay, the comments are still there on YouTube or on Twitch, but thank you very much. We have been here during the streaming almost 40 persons. So I hope you find this interesting, and you can reach me on my social media, on Instagram, through my website, on Facebook, or through my website, just in case you have any questions or any suggestions about possible future streamings. Whatever you can answer, you can ask if you need help about something, about any specific design. Oh, I already saved the grid. This is the reason why you should save your ZGrid files when you are adjusting an image to a plane. Now I can open it. I'm going to here. Oh no, why if I save it? Where did I save it? Maybe I save it in another place. Let me see. Here. Let me save it again in the right place. I save it in a wrong folder. Yeah, we have been talking too much today. I'm not concentrated. So let's see, this is the stream 21. Here is the right place. Okay. So just for giving to you a rough idea, what you can do now from here. Okay, and we need to polish a little bit more the topology. We can't use this kind of topology. You can see it's not very consistent. But after that, what you can do here is you can start painting the gaps for the necessary cavities. And just I'm gonna make just an example. And the good thing about the plugin I just shown you before, the precision extract, we can create a cavity of 0.6 millimeter, 0.6. Now it is going to be important to turn on double, because we are looking for to make a negative space inside of this block, inside of this amount of this mesh. In this case, it's going to be important to keep this active and then create precision extract, and this is what we get. Now I can turn this on, and now we will be able to start. Okay, you can see it's not perfect, but the good thing about the live Boolean system is that we can make, if we select a feather, we can apply any tweaks and refining till getting the, and we should make the same thing with all of the feathers with the right drawing. We can extract all of them at once, could be a good idea, doesn't matter if you paint it one by one, paint extract, or you can paint everything, any of them, and then extract all of them at once. Then when you have everyone, all of the feathers, you're going to start adjusting the distances between each other, and that's it. So once you have here, you have this. Now we have 0.6 millimeter depth. Once we have everything, I want to make one fast copy of this. Something more like this. I need to, it is, we can squish it. We can make it thinner. This one connects to the, we should refine a little bit more this shapes. I just want to show you, I make a fast, you can turn off the topological, because if you have this turning on, you can see I only can move both feathers at once. But if your turn is on, you can move them individually, like this. So you can apply some polish vibe feature. And now once you have this, you can go to just figure out that we have all of the feathers in place with the right depth for everything. You can go to the gear here and make the full Boolean folder, and you will get this with this weird and strange topology. Now we can take two ways, Dynamesh or ZBrush. Let's see which one works better. At the first try, I use ZBrush. Let's go to ZBrush. I want to keep the groups. You can see the colors are still there. That means that we have polygroups. I want to retain the polygroups. I don't want to apply any smoothing to the group. So from 1 to 0. I am looking for the quads or the mesh with more quad shapes as possible. That means that we need to change this 50 to 0, and let's see what it does. ZBrush. And this is what we get. Maybe we can, instead of the dab, we can click on double for getting a more dense mesh. Okay, something I know, but let's see the same. Twink. This is a much better. And then when you have the wing, you can turn on the rest of the subtools. maybe we can this I can turn this on and we can put it in place. Okay, I made one big mistake, but I will. So because if I change the size now, we are going to lose the 0.6 millimeter. Okay, we need to, okay, but I want to just to show you that you have here an option, bend arc, to start bending this or modifying the wings and adapting the wing to the shape of the. This is with a very fast and grown steps. This is the whole summarize or fast execution of how to create the wings. So once you have the wings, you can adapt the wings, and you have another part of the design, which is this, adding the wings on the sides. It still needs to work a lot. It still needs a lot of work. For example, this kind of pattern at the bottom of the band, you can see for more gaps for enameling, black and red. We need to detail the beetle on the top. We need to work a little bit more on different elements. We will make more progress on future streamings. But I always try to complete the designs that I start. Maybe being honest, we can say that I don't finish them 100% in terms of ready for manufacturing or ready for the final render, but maybe I used to complete the designs. We are talking about 90%, almost finish it. I can't say 100%, but my goal, my objective is try to show the whole process till the beginning, till the concept team, till the blocking, till the ending, ready for manufacturing design. Okay, so we are done for today. No more comments, no more questions. Hope you have enjoyed the stream. Thank you very much for being here during this time, and thank you very much to all of you who are going to watch the video. And leave your comments, your questions, suggestions on the comments of the video, and you can reach me through my social media, and I will be here in October for more stuff about jewelry with ZBrush. So thank you everybody, bye, see you in October.